So where are we today? It is our fourth day of working in the rain, and we are not in Seattle, we are in Virginia. Hi, my name is Scott. I'm a radon mitigator in Virginia. I make videos for other radon mitigators and those looking to get in the business. If you're a homeowner, you can stay and hang out. Check out www.nrsb.org. That's National Radon Safety Board. Plug in your zip code, it'll put you in touch with a certified radon professional in your area. I make videos about unusual situations, and this is definitely worthy of your attention. I've got my pipes mocked up here. I haven't glued them quite yet, but we got a little bit of everything on this job. This is subslab depressurization combo with a crawl space. We had to do a little digging on this one, and I'll show you how and why we had to do it like that. The reason I make videos about unusual situations is because all the other radon videos that I come across are typically the same, you know. Hey Bob, what do we have right here? Well, Gary, it's a 10-year-old house, and it took me 5 minutes to drill this hole, and right under here we have all the 57 gravel we need to seal the pipe in the hole and pull the radon right out of this house. You know, when I encountered this tricky stuff, this is the stuff that gets radon mitigators out of the business because they're not used to handling this stuff. So here's our crawl space. This is what I found here. I'm gonna redo this with 6mm plastic, and but I want to show you this. Oh, I wish I had a better light. All right, and we're back. All right, the area that we're treating in this house is over there. That's the lowest living level. So this is obviously a utility area, but this is a big fake out. You see this slab right here is not connected to that side of the house. All right, so that's why you always do site surveys. You find this stuff out, and I had to take a jackhammer and go at it sideways to get into that slab. So, you know, show us how you use a jackhammer sideways there, Gary. So this is what I want to show you. At this time, I would like to offer a sincere apology to Gary. I realize I was a bit rough on him. Now back to our program. 45s and 90s are pretty important. I had an opportunity to go at a 45-degree angle. So 9 times out of 10, you know, somebody would probably want to come out of this with a 90 and come over and make another 90, make it, you know, nice and neat. I made it as neat as I possibly could, but it's got to function. I'm concerned about airflow, and every bend you put on a system restricts airflow. I've even got that cocked at a 45-degree angle. So when I tap into this area and I encapsulate it, you know, I even want that doing it. It maximizes as best as I can get. So then this right here comes out, and it's right where I showed you before. I'm gonna take you back out there and explain why I went subterranean. All right, so the reason why we went underground is because we had to make, it had to exhaust right. So getting the inside figured out was one thing. Now getting it out and dispersed according to code is another challenge. All right, I could have just kicked it up there and gone up, but we're gonna be too close to that window. So we gotta get it at least 10 feet away from any window. All right, so again, keeping with bends and 45s and so forth, I had no choice but to eventually make it 90, but I made it as sweeping as possible by putting 2 45s together like that, which makes for better flow than a conventional 90. I'll show you that. And voila. So we're keeping with code, and you're not gonna see too many of them sitting low like that, but that's what we had to do to get the job done. And really, in the end, to find the radon system, you'd have to be looking pretty hard for it. Anyway, I thought I'd share that unusual type of system that you don't typically see out in YouTube land, and I hope it was of some help. All right, back to work. Okay, the exhaust is all glued together, and I'm pretty happy with it. I couldn't tell you how many times I took this apart and put it back together. This is definitely a game of patience, and you got to think outside the box. For instance, this ladder setup to get up here and work with this stuff. Just, you see how we're doing that? You know, you don't have to be a daredevil, but you need to be creative sometimes. And A trick that I do when I put these pipes together is when I mark them like so. It's these little T's. They line up with these little lines, you see? And then of course, as I'm gluing it, I've always got a level in my back pocket. This is probably my most used tool, and that helps us stay true. And then of course you want to step back and look at it. Take it apart, put it back together, be patient, and mark it right before you glue it, and it'll keep it from pulling your hair out. Okay. So this system is just about completed. I've just about finished laying all the underlayment, but I wanted to show you something here. And this is dotting I's and crossing T's. So, you know, we've sealed up as much of that as we possibly can to get the best suction we can. But I'll show you something that I discovered. Okay, this is about where the pipe is coming in and pulling from this side of the home. Now listen really carefully. Alright, so that's some additional stuff that we're going to need to treat. And you're gonna need to pull back carpet sometimes, and we're lucky that we can do that, because once an area is super finished, it's harder to treat. But I've got this pulled back, and I'm going to use our trusty old buddy on it and see if we can't get back as much of that suction as we'd like, because we're losing a lot. Okay, much better. You can still hear it, but once your ear gets trained to it, you can tell what's just the sound happening under the slab or losing suction. I've already, you know, swiped it with my finger, obviously gloved, because this stuff is icky sticky, and we'll come back and check on it because it is expanding foam, and it, you know, as it wants to do. We want to make sure it's all swiped up before we tuck the carpet back in. Alrighty. Big reveal. Ta-da! Sun came out today, but also the wind, so I think it'll be a little challenging for our testing. But that is the lowest I've ever set a fan. But it is awfully quiet. Of course, I got to listen to it last night before all this wind came. And it's pretty much invisible. You really have to be looking for it. But there is a method to the madness. It needs to be set low so we can get as many, sweeping curves. If I would have set it up here, I mean, you could see the airflow would be just cut and jut, and it's got to flow. You dig? And I make these videos to dispel the myth that all radon systems cost $1,000. They're all done the same way. You just stick a pipe in the ground and you're good to go, and they all pass the first time. That's not the case. That's why I make these videos, to educate mitigators and homeowners. Everybody needs to get in on the know on this, and I hope they are of some help. And it is it's Sunday, so yeah, that's another part of this business. I've done these by myself for 5.5 years now, and I'm about ready to take on some help. And when I do that, then I'll be able to show you more minutia on how I drill holes and what I used to do, to put certain things together. I'm just doing the best I can as a one-man band here. So, all right, hope you picked up something, and have a good one.